Hello, today I want a presentation about metallurgy chapter 9 in title is Heat Treatment of Steel. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Haris Bungaran Ramadan with lecture Prof. Dr. Cokorda Gede Tirta Ninja STMT Metallurgy Class C Mechanical Engineering Udayana University. Book reference is Metallurgy for the Non-Metallurgists, second edition, and Metallurgy for the Non-Metallurgy, second edition. First of all is the iron-carbon system. Carbon, as a small interstitial element, also can increase the strength of iron by solid solution hardening. However, solubility of carbon in iron is very limited, which impose limits on solid solution hardening of iron with carbon. Carbon plays an important role in heat treatment because it expands the temperature of range of austenite stability. Higher carbon content lowers the temperature needed to austenize steel such the iron atoms rearrange themselves to form an structure. Next, explain carbon. Carbon is almost insoluble in ferrite because the interstitial position available in the BCC. BCC is body-centered cubic lattice are not large enough to accommodate it. However, carbon is more soluble in austenite because the larger interstices in the FCC lattice or face center cubic in figure 9.2 are considerable more accommodated into carbon. The solubility limit of carbon in a ferrite varies from 0.008 which percent at -18 Celsius or 0 Fahrenheit to a maximum solubility limit of 0.022 which percent at 727 Celsius or 1040 Fahrenheit. Can see in picture 2.33 in chapter 2. In title is Structure of Metal and Alloys for an expanded view of this region. In contrast, the maximum solubility of carbon in austenite is approximately 2%. 2. Is common phase in steel. Heat treatment of steel requires an understanding of both the equilibrium phase and the metastable phase that occur during heating and or cooling. For steel, the stable equilibrium phase include ferrite, austenite, graphite, and to some extent sheminite, or as a very stable is iron carbide. The metastable phases are perlite, martensite, and bainite. Next, the definition of educate point on a phase diagram in the solid state version of aquatic melting point, like a aquatic transformation during solidification. The eutychoid point on a phase diagram is where a single solid phase transforms completely at one temperature into a mixture of two or more total neosolid phase. In the binary iron-carbon system, there are three stable phases coexisting at eutychoid: is austenite, ferrite, and sheminite. Based on the fundamental relation of Gibbs rule, can see in section 2.10 is equilibrium phase diagram in chapter 2 in this book. The eutychoid defines an invariant point in the iron-carbon system, assuming that pressure is held constant. The 3 is Critical temperature and transformation diagram. Critical temperatures refer to specific temperature at which phase transformation or change in material property occur. These temperatures are significant because they mark the boundaries between different phases on microstructure with a material. Transformation diagram. The kinetic aspect of phase transformation are as important as the equilibrium diagram for the heat treatment of steel. Any practical heat treatment requires heating and or cooling. Therefore, another important tool in steel heat treatment is the use of transformation diagram. The plot phase transformation as a function of temperature and either time or the rate temperature change. Next is annealing and normalizing. General annealing thermal cycles. Annealing cycles are varied according to temperature and the method to cooling used. Annealing temperature may classified as first, subcritical annealing or below the lower critical temperature, I1. Next is intercritical annealing or above I1 but below the upper critical temperature, A3 in hypotectoid steels or IM in hypertectoid steels. Next is supercritical annealing to achieve full oxidation of either hypo or hypereutectoid steels. Annealing guidelines. The metallurgical principle of annealing cycles can be described by the following 7 rules, which may be used as guidelines for the development of successful and efficient annealing. The rules are applied most effectively when the critical temperature and transformation characteristics of the steel have been established and when transformation is so thermal treatment is feasible. This is diagram of iron carbon binary phase diagram showing region of temperature for full annealing and various other heat treatment applied to steel. Next is type of annealing treatment. Steel relief annealing is a process to use to relieve internal stress with a material, particularly after processes like cold working that introduce significant residual and stress. The material is heated to a specific temperature below its critical range and is slowly cooled. Recrystallization annealing is a heat treatment process used to induce the formation of new strand-free grain recrystallization in a previously cold work or deformed material. The material is heated to a temperature with its recrystallization temperature range and held through their falsification time to allow to new grains to form. This process helps restore the material ductility, reduce hardness, and formability and machinability. Stay in types of annealing treatments. Spheroidizing is a heat treatment process primarily used for high carbon steel to improve their maxability and toughness. It involves heating the steel to a temperature slightly below in its critical range and then holding it there for an extended period. This allows the cemented or ferrotricarbon in the steel to transform into small round carbide particles dispersed within a ferrite matrix, forming a spheroidal microstructure. The resulting steel is softer and more delicate and easier to machine. Next is normalizing of steel. Heat treatment process used to refine the grain structure and improve the mechanical property of steel. The material is heated to a temperature above its critical range, held there for a short period, and then cooled in the steel air. This process produces it as a fine-grained microstructure with uniform grain size and distribution, improving the material strength, toughness, and mechanability. Normalizing is often used a precursor to other heat treatment process or as a final treatment for components that require a combination of strength and toughness. This picture explains approximate temperature range for various heat treatment applied to steel. 9.6. It's furnace heating and induction heating. Furnace heating is heat treating furnace can be generally classified as either batch to continuous furnace. First, batch type furnace where loads are placed in the furnace and its loads are brought up to temperature together, and depending on the process, the furnace may or may not be cooled before it's opened and the load removed. Continuous type furnace which operate in uninterrupted cycles as work pass over a stationary hearth or the hearth itself move. Induction heating is a method of heating electrically conductive material by the application of a varying magnetic field whose line of force enter the workpiece. In the process, the varying magnetic field induces an electric potential or voltage, which can then create an electric current depending shape and the electrical characteristic workpiece. Furnace heat and induction heating. Effect of heating rate on transformation temperature. When full annealing, full austenitization is required, one important factor, especially with induction heating, is the effect of heating rate on the upper critical temperature, or AC3. For complete austenitization, this critical temperature depends on the heating rate. It also depends on the microstructural condition of the workpiece and so figure 9.34. Picture 9.30 is explain principle of induction heating. A pattern Picture A is explain pattern of currents and the magnetic field in a solenoid coil. And B, it's explain the induced eddy current in the specific window is opposite to that in the coil. Hardening and tempering. Hardening of steel involves a three-step process of austenitization, quenching, and tempering. Sometimes an additional step of cold treating is done at low temperature below Martensnit finish temperature of the steel. This occurs through Martensitic transformation and minimization of regenerated austenite. 9.8 Cold treating of steel. Cold treating of steel, also known cryogenic treatment or cryogenic processing, is a process used to improve the properties of steel alloys. It involves subjecting the steel to extreme low temperature, typical around negative 190 degrees Celsius or minus 30, 30, 310 degree Fahrenheit or lower. This, often using liquid nitrogen, curd-treating is often employed in industries where high perform steel components are required, such as aerospace, automotive, and tool manufacture. However, it's worth noting is that the effectiveness of curd treating can vary depending on factors such as the specific steel alloy, the treatment parameter, and the intended application. Cast hardening. Cast hardening is a generic term used for several processes that put a hard, wear-resistant surface layer on a part. This combination of hard surface and resistant to break edge on impact is useful in the part such as cam or ring gear that must have a very surface to resist wear, along with a chuck interior, resist and the impact the occur during operation. In the picture 9.41, it's explained category of division process by typical case depth. And for the last, it's head treating equipment. Head treating equipment encompasses a wide range of tools and machinery used in the process of altering the physical and mechanical properties of metals through controlled heating and cooling. Generally, furnaces are classified by heat surge or combustion of fuel, or by conversion of electric energy to heat, and by two broad categories: is batch and continuous. Here are some common types of heat treating equipment: batch furnace, continuous furnace, furnace atmosphere, vacuum furnace, fluid-based furnace, and salt and liquid bath furnace. In the picture 9.49 is explained schematic of Shaker furnace for continuous carburizing. Okay, this is my presentation. Thank you for attention. Goodbye.